These new cards from Jump to Lightspeed are absolutely insane. Hello and welcome to the table, and today we're going to talk about the insane new cracked stupid cards, in my opinion, from Jump to Lightspeed. And man, this set's honestly looking really good right now, so let's just talk about some of this new stuff. First off, the leaders, to me, are pretty interesting so far. I'm still not 100% sure how I feel about the whole deploys either in equipment or as a worse kind of statted leader, just kind of a body that's vanilla a lot of the time. But some of these leaders that aren't upgrades on the part of the side are really interesting looking so far. Thrawn, to me, looks super cool. I mean, you get to use a one defeated ability twice with this leader, which seems pretty good to me, especially considering some of this stuff is like, when defeated, heal 2 from your base. Well, if with all of the super crazy rushdowny decks, this, in a control deck like Thrawn, says, let's heal 4 instead, which can matter a lot over time, especially if you have multiple of these in your deck, you know. Or if you have something like Landing Shuttle that says, when defeated, draw a card. Oh wait, I'm going to use Thrawn, and I'm going to draw 2 cards off of this just pretty fine common. And I guarantee there are so many better when defeated abilities. Krennic says, hey, all these when defeated cards cost you 1 less for the first one that you play every single round. And oh, by the way, you can play this on turn 1, and it's a 2/2 shielded, so it's a little harder for the opponent to kill, and the opponent doesn't really want to spend their resources killing it in the first place, especially if they're an aggressive deck. But Thrawn, to me, if you just throw in enough like good control-y cards, just seems like a really solid and potentially powerful leader to me. Admiral Piet, while not maybe looking super powerful just yet, he does look really interesting to me because, you know, I love cost reduction kind of stuff because, you know, I love Count Dooku, and this is like, this could be interesting because, you know, you can, as an action, play a capital ship, a really giant space unit that can take over the space arena, which is really good for you, for 1 less, which is fine. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but it could be powerful. But the thing that's really intriguing about this is that once you have 5 resources, which, yeah, that's a little bit interesting to me because I'll get to that in a second, you can flip this. It's a 2/7 that says each capital space unit that you play costs 2 less. So 1, you can play multiple in turn. So if you get into the later portions of the game, if you have this out, you can play 2 7 costs for only 10 resources instead of 14, which could be the thing that determines the game or whatever. But in addition, you flip this out once you have 5 resources on turn 4, right? Well, you could play any 7 cost capital ship, which that's capital ship that costs 7. Let's see, what else is there? There are others that cost 7. I'm not crazy. But it just seems like there's a lot of capital ships. I swear there are more that I saw that cost 7. There are ones that cost 6, and there are ones that, I don't know. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that Admiral Piet looks very interesting. I'm not sure if he's going to be super good, but he definitely looks interesting. And there are some leaders that have the whole deploy as an upgrade side that I do find really interesting too. Wedge Antilles, because again, playing stuff for less could be very powerful. And I always kind of look at that, I'm like, resource cheating. That could be really good because, you know, some of the best decks in TCGs in general, resource cheat like nobody's business. And Wedge Antilles here says, as an action, you can exhaust him, play a card from your hand using piloting, and it costs 1 less. So basically, you want to play things, and you want to play these piloting cards with Wedge and make those things better. And a lot of the green cards that we've seen so far really care about that. This guy says, hey, for however many pilots there are, this gets an additional buff, and you can use its piloting ability to hand that out to another unit, and it's 1/2 body added on top of that unit. And that's just a 1 cost thing. This could be really good. Because it's just a solid space unit in my opinion, and I don't know why I bring this up, but I just like the card. Leia can give you some good value because of the pilots you're going to be playing. Your Leia's just going to give you value off of those pilots. This card cost 1 less for each friendly pilot unit and upgrade. So you can get this card out even sooner for less resources because you're going to be playing pilots for free or for less, using piloting abilities on pilot cards for less with Wedge. So Red Leader seems like a solid card, especially considering that it can pump out you X-Wing tokens for every single time you put a pilot upgrade on a unit. And then Chewie, can be some good kind of sort of hex-proofy kind of stuff. It can cost 2 to give a +3/+3 buff, which is great, in addition to making the thing that you're pointing this on a little bit harder to kill, or you can just play Chewie as a 5/6 body with that same kind of ability, which is solid. But yeah, to me, so far, Wedge definitely looks a little bit intriguing. I'm like, could this be good? Or maybe not. And plus, when it flips for 5, I mean, it does give a +3/+4 buff to the thing that you're pointing on if you use the equipment side of it, which I think honestly is going to be what most of these leaders are wanting to do, because the equipment side just seems better. But it also gives the stuff every single time that you attack. You can play a pilot. The next pilot card you play costs 1 less. And I mean, I don't know. It just seems really good to me. And then Boba, I mean, this new Boba Fett to me seems absolutely insane. I don't know if it's just me, but a lot of what Red and Black decks, Star Wars Unlimited, is wanting to do with Red and Black decks is wanting to make them kind of mid-rangey decks, which doesn't really work because a lot of the Red-Black cards either are really aggressive or are way too slow, and there isn't really a way to tie the gap. But with this set, we've really gotten some resources to do that, and Boba Fett's looking to be one of the better leaders to take advantage of this, because, you can get... Yeah, anyways, what I'm talking about here is indirect damage. There's so much stuff, especially in Red and Black, in this set that does indirect damage. First Order Stormtrooper, just as a very simple card that does this at a common. 1 cost, 2/1, on attack, 1 defeated, deal 1 indirect damage to a player. That's non-combat damage that you can then use Boba Fett's ability to deal more indirect damage to the player. And then when this is defeated, you can get even more value out of that. This card says anytime you deal indirect damage, or when indirect damage is dealt to a unit, you can defeat non-unique upgrades on it. And to me, that just seems really good because experience, shield tokens, or some really solid upgrades that are going to be put. I don't know. It just seems good to me. And on attack, if you have the initiative, you get to deal more damage. And this is a 2-cost body and just does a lot. In addition to that, there's like IG 200, which when played deals tons of indirect damage to units, kind of spread out. And damage is likely going to be spread out with indirect damage, so this could maybe potentially kill 3 different units. And it's a 3/4 overwhelmed body for 4. Not that bad. In addition to that, I mean, IG-88 can get you tons of value off of your enemy units being damaged, because this could be a 5-cost 7/8, or 7/5, sorry. Or you can spend 2 and give it a +3 health buff. And whenever an enemy unit is damaged, like so long as an enemy unit is damaged, that unit that you're putting the piloting upgrade on also gets a +3 power buff. So it could be a 2-cost 3/3 buff to a unit, and that's really good too. Devastator can just end games because of all the indirect damage that the deck's going to be wanting to deal. This could just deal it all to the opponent, and when played, it deals 4 damage itself, and it's a 9/6 game-ending body in space. No disintegrations can be a really solid removal spell. This card makes all the indirect damage that you would be deal increased by 1, because a lot of stuff, not all of it, but a lot of it's kind of like spread out, just 1 little bits of damage or 2 little bits of damage. It can go from 2 or 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3 or something like that. And it just seems like a solid uncommon as well. It's a 4 resource 3/6 body, which doesn't seem that bad. If the Red and Black decks if they want to be more mid-rangey, and use indirect damage, having larger butts is usually a good thing for you. But yeah, that seems really interesting to me too, Boba Fett. And this Colossus card, I don't know. I don't know what to really think about this card. Recently, I've kind of fallen into a little stint of I don't like under 30 health bases that much anymore. Now, granted, if you're playing an aggressive deck and that under 30 health base makes you win the game quicker, good. That, like, Petronaki Arena And a deck like Asajj, great for you. But if you're playing a more mid-rangey deck or a control deck, under 30 health bases normally aren't going to be the best for you. ECL, Energy Conversion Lab, is one of the few that I would consider, but recently it's just like, I don't like under 30 health bases as much. And this card could be interesting because a lot of the under 30 health bases that a lot of people do play are 25, 26 health. And this is like, 35. So it could be an almost or 10 health difference. And drawing one less card in your starting hand, recently I've been drawing my hands with 5 cards and seeing, how would I play this? And then I'll just get on with the game and draw the 6 card. And honestly, I mean, there's obviously a difference. It's a little bit of a difference. But if you're playing, I don't know, it just seems not that bad of a downside to me. It's a downside. I mean, less cards is always bad in a trading card game. But for that 5 health bonus, if you're playing against some of the, a lot of people still love decks. And I love playing decks that have under 30 health bases. But sometimes people do it a little bit too much. Sometimes people play under 30 health bases that they really shouldn't. But if you're playing against people who maybe shouldn't be running those kind of bases, and you're running this, you could have a 10 health point difference, and that automatically could potentially even take that 1 card disadvantage that you have and throw that out the window and turn it into a possible advantage for you. So I don't know. It's very interesting. This is the first over 30 health base that we've ever seen, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the other bases are going to be wanting to do. If they're all going to be over 5 health, if some are just going to be 4 health, or maybe even 6 health more. I don't know. But leave a comment down below and tell me your thoughts about this set so far. It looks very interesting to me, and a lot of the cards in this set are like really solid cards, and I can see them going into a ton of different decks, or just supporting and really helping out these decks themselves. There's very few cards in this set that I'm not disliking. There's very minimal, basically, bulk cards is what I'm trying to say here. I mean, obviously, there's some draft fodder, like Houndstooth, because there's a ton of transport cards, or Dagger Squadron Pilot as just like a kind of curve filler or whatever. It's fine. But I mean, there's very few cards in the set that I've seen so far that I dislike. Like TIE Bomber, for example. Just a simple common. And it's like a better Grey Squadron Y-Wing. It's a 2-resource 0/4, sure. But whenever you attack with it, it deals 3 indirect damage to the defending player. I mean, that's insane. It's like either they take it all and it's just a 2-resource 3/4, or it just spreads out damage. I don't know. Like, this set, to me, looks really solid so far. So if you agree, leave a comment down below and say why you agree with me. Or if you think this set is awful, just explain to me in the comments down below why. Because this set just looks so fun. It just looks like an absolute freaking blast. But anyways, with all that aside, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, no regrets. And have a great rest of your day, everybody.